Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Zabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
Amy. And I'm Lacey G.
And we got to talk about Swifties in the Park.
Yay!
What an amazing event that was. Wasn't that fun?
Yes, I'm so proud of us.
Me too.
For pulling it off. I'm proud of us. I'm really proud of all of our vendors that came out. I'm proud of all the Swifties that came out. Everything I'm beaming ear to ear.
Thankful of the weather.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we had some drama. There was some drama.
A little scary there for a minute.
It got really scary.
The weather looked like it was not going to hold up for us. And yes, we realized we are in Texas where the weather is very unpredictable, and we planned an outdoor event during the time where it can be extra unpredictable. And so the weather was not looking great. It might be raining. And the frustrating thing is every weather app said something different.
Right.
So we really had no idea what to do. I think it was Anna that came up with the idea that said, hey, since there's going to be a good chance of afternoon showers, what if we just scoot the event up by 1 hour? And that was early Saturday morning that we decided that.
Well, initially we had a backup plan, and then that backup plan fell through. The backup plan said, oh, we were accounting for like 100 people, not 600. No, you can't move it here.
It was like a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Right.
We had too many people buy tickets and want to come that we couldn't do our indoor backup plan. But you make it sound like I was so calm and collected when I made that decision. No, I was crippled with anxiety for the entire week because all week long there was bad weather. And like you said, we live in Texas. It's unpredictable. 99% of the time living here in Texas, I just don't trust the weather apps. If it says it's going to rain, it's probably not. If it says it's going to be a tornado, maybe later. I don't know. I just don't ever trust it. And all week long, it kept saying there's going to be severe weather like on Saturday.
There was a tornado warning the night before.
Yeah, but I was so hopeful. I was like, the Texas unpredictability is going to be on our side this time, you know? And Friday afternoon, even Friday morning when we were all like, because we were here, I was like almost on the verge of tears because I was like, what do we do? What are we going to do? And Nick, you had said, you were like, as soon as we cancel, it's going to clear up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just the way it goes. And then actually, so on Friday afternoon, I was checking the weather every 30 minutes. And it was actually one of our listeners that messaged us and was like, hey, why not just push it up like a few hours? And I was like, no, that'd be like really hard to do, to push it up a few hours. But then I was like, but we might be able to push it up just 1 hour because the storms were supposed to come later in the afternoon. And that's what we ended up doing. And it turned out to be
Perfection.
Oh my God. But
all we had to deal with was wind. It was pretty windy. So some of the stuff we had planned, we just couldn't set up some backdrops and some photo opportunities that we were wanting.
Yeah.
Some of our vendors had a little bit of trouble setting up what they wanted to, but hey, the event was not canceled. It was not rained out. Mm-hmm. It wasn't postponed, and it went off without a hitch.
And it actually started raining as soon as we wrapped up. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as we packed up our stuff and like went to go grab a bite to eat, that's when it started raining. And I was like, this is unreal.
And Anna, you said listeners were tagging us in TikTok videos doing like anti-rain dances and stuff.
On Friday, some of our listeners, there was a few just random videos of like rain rituals to put off the rain and things like that from like a bunch of different countries all over the world. And our listeners were tagging us in all of these videos, which I thought was so sweet. It was so cute.
And it was so insane because we had people drive from Wisconsin, from Arkansas, from Tennessee. So they had to go ahead and make the decision to come and just bank on, I hope that this is going to happen. Then we had other people who didn't make the drive because of the weather. So I'm just so grateful for everybody who came out. It was truly, truly, truly the best time ever. I got so many cool friendship bracelets. I got to thank you, Lacey, friendship bracelet. I know Amy got to thank you, Amy.
I did. I'm wearing some of mine right now.
We got our official Tortured Poets Department official membership badge from Sarah and Tori. And Sarah made me a friendship bracelet. She said, I know that you always wanted your name in a song and it hasn't happened yet. So she did Who's Afraid of Little Old G?
That's cute.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And my badge says Chief Clown Lobster.
That is so cute.
And these badges, they're like the retractable ones, so you can clip it on your belt and like whip it out on the little fishing line, and it'll scan into a building.
Super official.
So you can get into the Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah, that's super cute. Mine says Haunted Lobster Specialist. And my friendship bracelet says, because you know how it's the anthology? It's the Anathology.
Adorable.
So cute. I put it on my work bag.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine's in my car, but the description on mine, I believe, says like Chief Vulgar Lobster or something like that. And then the friendship bracelet that's on it says Dookie.
Could you imagine if we wouldn't have told you the context of that?
I know. I'd be like, what? And I still haven't listened to that episode. Where I just don't want to because I don't want to find out what you're saying.
I dropped that for a reason because I didn't want to force Dookie on you, and I didn't want that to happen. But I'm glad that it made a comeback. Sarah also is the one who dressed up like a lobster.
Yes.
I thanked her and Tori for coming, and she always has the best captions. And she said, I've loved you for 3 summers, and honey, I want them all.
Aww.
Because it was our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I thought that was so
There
sweet.
were a few people that were confused by our happy birthday
Yeah.
headbands. Yeah.
Well, so like Lacey said, yeah, part of this was a 3-year anniversary event. We've been doing this for 3 years now. We started when Taylor first started to release her Taylor's version. So she put out Fearless Taylor's version. And that week we came out with our podcast starting to break down Fearless Taylor's version. And so we got to celebrate that. And then it just also happened to coincidentally line up so that while we were celebrating this, we hit a really big milestone of being downloaded over 4 million times across the world.
A new album.
And a new album.
Oh
there
my
was so
goodness.
much
A double
to celebrate.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Unbelievable.
It was so awesome to get together with, other Swifties. I was like on the verge of tears all day. Just so much love and support from such a beautiful community, not just like the Swiftie community, but also like within the Swiftie community, our podcast community too. It was really cute. At one point I saw, because we've had a couple of events, over the last 3 years, and I saw a couple of people who were there that like saw each other, like had met at our last event. You know what I mean? Like they're friends with each other because they listen to the podcast, and like that's really cool. And the fact that people drove so far just to spend an afternoon, to celebrate music, this Taylor Swift's music, like it's absolutely insane to me. I also want to give a huge thank you just to everybody for making me look really cool, because my friends came out to like this event, and like my friends like know that I'm obsessed with Taylor Swift and that we have this podcast and stuff, but they hadn't seen like the extent of it.
Right.
So for them to come to this event out of anything, this was our biggest event that we've ever hosted.
Oh, for sure.
We had over 600 people there.
That's amazing.
And so for my like group of friends to come out to this event, like y'all made me look so cool, and I just want to say thank you. I like went to eat with one of my friends afterwards, and she was like, "It's just incredible to see what you guys are doing and the reach and like all this stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm glad that you can see it too." So thank you guys for making me look cool.
And we also got to thank our friend Shelby for taking incredible
Yes.
pictures.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We love having Shelby out at our events. She's a very good friend of ours, an extremely close friend with Anna. That's how we know her. Through
Right.
Anna.
Yes.
And she
And a
takes great
photographer.
pictures. And a photographer. Did she take your engagement pictures?
She took my engagement pictures. She did my she's always been our go-to like just photographer, because she's so talented, and she's actually just about to get ready to launch her own like company. So
Oh, great.
So she's building up, her portfolio and things. So it was really cool. And she's also a Swiftie. Like,
Right.
besides the fact, like, she actually had tickets to go to the event already. And when I asked her, I was like, you're more than welcome to come and take pictures, or you can just come and hang out as like, a patron. Totally up to you. But she was so excited and super flexible with our time shift and everything.
Yeah.
So, and her photos are just absolutely
great.
incredible. Highly recommend checking out her work and booking her for any photo needs.
Yeah, we had already talked about the awesome vendors that we had, and I just want to give them a little shout out. So we had out there the Crafty Tea, Leah Designs, Magnolia Messages, Sunny Lux, Peanut Stitches Company, Zozo & Co. Customs, Bella and Brush, Origin Story Tattoos, yes, people were getting tattoos there.
She was booked the entire
She's booked the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, she was having to turn people away.
Yeah, some people had to like sign up to go
Yes.
see her like at her actual shop.
We have Blow Me Away balloons that made this such a cool balloon arch. We have Hooks and Gems Company, Cornelia Street Creations, The Era's Store, and of course we had a performance from Claws Out Comedy. So, one more. We have By Bubbles Designs. Yeah, so it was really cool. And I asked all of them, and they all said, hopefully they weren't just trying to make me feel good because we planned this event. They all said they had a very good day.
They
Yeah.
were
So like they weren't out
slammed
there for nothing.
Right.
busy the entire time to where Bubbles had to have somebody else take a picture because she couldn't stop and take a picture. Like
That's
it
amazing.
was, just slammed busy. We got a message from Tara Lee from the Crafty Tea, and she was crying, saying
Yeah.
it was her best event yet. Mana from Claws Out Comedy said that was the biggest stage she's ever been on, the biggest crowd she's ever been in front
Wow.
of. So how cool is that? And to be able to share it with such cool people. There were so many familiar faces. We got to meet new ones. And our listeners have cool names. Meredith. Meredith took our picture and then was like, oh, it was my sister. I believe her name's Madison. Melanie. Melanie is the one who took our pictures at the pre-Eras Tour party that we had. She
she was
once
just sticking
listeners,
around.
she
She
stuck
became our
around.
photographer.
Yeah, taking pictures because
Yeah,
people wanted
yeah.
pictures with us. And then Meredith was like, what an honor to be able to take your picture this time. So that was just really cool. Everybody's so nice. I'm so grateful to everyone who came out. It was just
Yeah.
truly the best time.
It was. And I think one of my favorite stories from our vendors was Addison. She has Magnolia messages. So it's Morse code like bracelets. And it's her and her mom. And they live in Wisconsin. And so she listens to the podcast. And she told us that, when she first heard us talk about the event, they're like, oh, if you want to come out and vendors, like sign up, like there's no fee. So she walks downstairs to her mom and she was like, Mom, I found like a market that we can go set up at. She was like, oh, cool. Like, when is it? Oh, it's at the end of April. What's the fee? She goes, oh, it's actually free. She goes, oh, wait, where is it? She goes, Texas. And then she just turned around and walked back upstairs. So they drove from Wisconsin to Texas. And I know we have a lot of listeners who don't live in the U.S. That's about a 15-hour drive.
It's a long drive.
And they had to drive. They couldn't fly because they had all of their stuff to set up. And so they, decided to just go for it before knowing if we were going to cancel or not. They were also watching the weather, but they were like, we're just going to go and see what happens. And so when they showed up, I didn't know they were from Wisconsin. So when they showed up, I was like, hey, thank you guys so much for being so flexible with the time and the weather. And they were like, yeah, thank you for not canceling. We came from Wisconsin. I said, you did what now?
And she's also in high school. She's in high school starting her own business.
Right.
And she was saying that she was able to talk her mom into coming because her mom has a friend here. And so I was like, Mom, you can visit your friend while we're here too. She's like, okay.
But that's the belief in yourself and your business, and also the belief in Swifties to come out to something like that speaks volumes.
And to convince her mom to come all the way from Wisconsin. I mean, that is a boss move.
That is I could not get over that. Warmer, sunnier days are calling, and you can fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So if you only have a few minutes between meetings during the day, or you get home and you're just so hungry but you have no time to cook, Factor is where you should go. They have 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, and you'll always have new flavors to explore. You can crush your wellness goals this May with dietitian approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. And these are delicious. From breakfast to dessert, you can stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. And you can keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes, so no shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Head to factormeals.com/TaylorSwiftFan50 and use code TaylorSwiftFan50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code TaylorSwiftFan50 at factormeals.com/TaylorSwiftFan50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
one of the great things for me, it was just kind of a lot of validation. I know a lot of people think we're like really silly or lame for doing a podcast just about Taylor Swift. People roll their eyes when they hear about Swifties. But I think putting on an event like this just kind of showed to me the power that this community has and how people love and support each other. And we were supporting these small businesses and they were supporting us and just supporting each other just to come out because we have this thing that connects us. You know, it was just really cool to just kind of see all of this come together and think, oh no, what we're doing is real.
Yeah.
You know, what we're doing is actually worthwhile and has some meaning to a lot of people. So it was really neat.
Yeah.
It just reassures me that Swifties are truly the best. I, the other week, was filling in on another radio show, and the listeners were just like mean and toxic. And I was like, I cannot wait to get back around Swifties. Like, this was right after the double drop and having such an incredible weekend, and then having to be out in the real world. And it's like, oh, you better. Like, I don't like this area. No, I need to get back around my people.
You're
but
my Swifties.
yeah, Swifties are just so nice and so accepting. And it really was the best time. I could just hang out and talk to all the people that were there for forever. We didn't have enough time.
I know. I also want to give a big shout out to our listener, Grayson.
Yeah.
He came out from Arkansas, I
Yes.
believe, with his grandma and a few family members. So he's been listening to our podcast since day one. He's like a day one, 13 podcast one, you know? And he just very recently got social media. So he didn't know what we looked like. And so he told me that like a week before the event, he like studied our Instagram to know what we looked like so that he would know who we were. You know, people can recognize our voices, but he wouldn't have known what we looked like. And so I'm really, really happy. He was one of the very first people to show up. He was wearing the new cardigan, the Tortured Poets cardigan, which was like so cute. And it was so precious. And I saw, because I mean, he was there with like his family and stuff, but then at one point I saw that he was making new friends with other people. And now I saw that they're all friends on social media and stuff now too, which is just so sweet. So.
And he and his grandma get together on Tuesdays and talk about our podcast.
Aww.
And yeah, grandma was really, really supportive and insisted on coming out with him. He was just a blast. He was a dear. I'm so glad that we got to meet him. He played a game with us and won.
Yeah, you
Congrats.
did. Congratulations.
Yeah.
He did the finish the lyrics and like didn't even hesitate. He was so calm and chill and knew every lyric ever and was like, come on.
Even the new
I know
stuff.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still messing up the new words. Like
And the old stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I mess up all of it. But because Taylor always switches her lyrics, then I'm like, well, which one is this?
I know.
And I get it wrong every time.
Yeah. And Grayson had also made us a ton of friendship bracelets to give to other people. Like they were all friendship bracelets. It was like just this whole wad of friendship bracelets that all said like 13 podcasts and our names and like little podcast jokes and stuff. And he was like, I made these for you guys like to give to people. And I was like, thank you so much, because that was something that we totally dropped the ball on like making our own friendship bracelets. And so when he like hands me this like rod of just full of friendship bracelets, I was like, thank you so much. I was like, you're basically our marketing intern.
That did save us because we didn't have any. We had made plans to make friendship bracelets and then just got so stressed out and busy.
I know. Well, yeah, we had a
happen.
lot going on at the moment, dare I say. But I am wearing two of the friendship bracelets that I got. One that says "Stand Back Wasted," which I know that was made specifically for me because those are the correct lyrics, and I wish you would. And then I'm also wearing another one that's from Tortured Poets, "Guilty as Sin," because that's my current favorite song. And this is just like such a pretty bracelet.
Yeah, it's
like,
sparkly.
These are so pretty. So I wanted to wear them today.
Well, it was a great event. So thank you,
was.
everybody, and
And thank
everyone
you to
here who
Grandscape.
put on a lot of hard work, yes, in Grandscape. So thank you so much. Okay, so we've had a couple weeks to sit with Tortured Poets Department.
A fortnight.
Exactly.
Has it been exactly a fortnight?
It has been.
Yes.
Wasn't there rumors that something was going to drop today?
Yes. Okay, play
Oh.
Nikki King on TikTok.
Did something happen? Did we miss something?
No, I went to her account and there's nothing so far.
All right, let's see what Nikki says.
Good morning, Swifties. Happy May 3rd. I noticed a small detail in the Fortnight music video last night that I want to bring your attention to. and it is a timely manner. So lots of Swifties are clowning for something to happen today, May 3rd, for a multitude of reasons, namely that it is a fortnight from the release of the Tortured Poets Department. Track 1 on this album is called Fortnight. It's the first single, and it was a music video released 2 weeks ago today, or a fortnight ago. I have other reasons for clowning for today, but one thing that I found last night that I've not seen anybody else talk about is this side view of this typewriter. I noticed when I was watching it on my TV that there is a lever right here, and it's marked with a specific number. If you zoom in on that, you can see it a little bit closer. And on my TV, I realized that this is a scale from 0 to 6, and there's a little dial right there. Again, you can see it a little bit closer here. The dial is here. And then I went and found one of these typewriters from the 1930s that had one of these levers, so I could be sure what I was seeing was what I was actually seeing. It is in fact a scale that goes from 0 to 6, and this lever actually controls the tension on the keys, and you can set it to your preference. And if you look closely, you can see that Taylor's typewriter was set to 3.5 or 3.5. So this is another instance of 3s and 5s. And international dates are written with the day first and then the month. So 3-5. And we are technically in the international part of the Eras Tour. So I wanted to make sure you saw that. I also thought this was interesting. So this image right here is the patch for the manuscript variant. Whenever you bought that variant of the CD, you got a patch. This is that patch. So to me, this is the manuscript. But there are over 40 of these little booklets. And so if this is the manuscript, are the rest of these tracks? And if so, why are there more than 31? Okay, so if something is going to happen today, what do I think it is? When do I think it'll happen? I think we could be getting physical copies of the full anthology today. It is not unheard of for Taylor to release bonus tracks after an album is already out. Obviously, we already got 15 bonus tracks because this was a double album, so that would be wild if we did get more music. As far as what time I think things might happen, we got 2 instances of 5, 3, and 9 this week. First, her merch updated at 5:39 p.m. one day. Stuff came back into stock. And that same day, they shared this playlist that has 100 songs from Apple Music, but it is 5 hours and 39 minutes. So that, again, was a 5, 3, and 9. So if something were to happen, might it happen at 9 a.m. or at 9 p.m.? I don't know, but I saw those 2 things, and I just wanted to point them out on the morning of 5/3, just in case something happened. And again, this is not me asking for more. This is just saying it would be cute if it happened. Okay, I hope everybody has a great Friday. Happy May 3rd, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
So there's been a lot of 3s lately, and that's why people were thinking 5/3, it's a fortnight later. Is she going to drop something? She hasn't yet. So knowing how our podcast works, as soon as we quit recording, she's going to do something. Mm-hmm. But is something going to happen today? Is it not? She's been quiet. There's been a lot of 3s, a lot of speculation. Then next week is whenever she goes back on tour in Paris. The last variant of Midnights that she released, there was glitch taken off the album in Paris, and that's because people are saying there's a glitch in Paris. We've had photos leak that looks like she's adding Tortured Poets Department to the set list. We don't know what's going to happen whenever she returns on tour. Is it going to be the same? Is she adding a new set? Is she taking songs away? Is she going to go through that door? The door at the end of the Eras Tour, that is where she starts off whenever she's starting into the Tortured Poets Department. So is everything going to change? Is nothing going to change? Is anything going to happen today? Is nothing going to happen today? We'll have to see.
So we have talked about a few times the different records that Taylor has broken, but I have an updated list.
Yes.
If anyone would like to hear just the most recent list. Mm-hmm. So we've already heard before, if you haven't heard this yet, but she broke the single week vinyl sales record. So Tortured Poets sold 1.5 million copies its first week. 700,000 of those copies were vinyls.
Wow.
That's the most vinyls ever sold in 1 week. She beat her own record when 1989 sold just under 700,000 copies of vinyls. Of course, she set the single-day Spotify album streams with just over 300 million streams on its first day. She also set the single-day Spotify song streams with Post Malone. It had the most streams in one day. She set records on Apple Music for most listened to pop albums. She was the fastest to have an album hit 1 billion streams on Spotify, which is incredible. She did that in less than a week. She has the biggest streaming week of all time on Spotify on all platforms. She has almost 800 million streams so far. Let's see, historic Billboard 200 debut. So she sold just so many, and of course it was number one. Its first week came into 2.61 million sales for the week. And of course, she has the top 14 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. That's the top 14 songs across any genre in the entire country.
Way to go, Tyler.
Which is incredible. She has the most albums to hit number one on the Hot 100 ever. And the list kind of goes on from there, but those are just some of the big ones.
That's absolutely
Isn't that amazing?
Incredible.
Yeah.
We're witnessing history as she creates it. That's insane. I am curious. I would love to get the physical copies of the anthology of like the full thing or the part 2. I was reading about how for vinyl specifically, and I don't know about CDs, but for vinyl specifically, it takes about 2 to 3 months for them to press. And part of the reason why the anthology was able to be such a successful surprise is probably because it wasn't pressed on vinyl just yet.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if that's something that would happen, A, at all, or B, just like down the road, like later on. Because we've never got Midnight's 3 a.m. physical editions, right? At least not on vinyl. I feel like I would have bought that.
Yeah, just the CD.
Yeah, we got like the late night edition CD, but it wasn't like the 3 a.m. edition, specifically. So I'm really curious to see if that ever happens. Warmer, sunnier days are calling, and you can fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So if you only have a few minutes between meetings during the day, or you get home and you're just so hungry but you have no time to cook, Factor is where you should go. They have 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, and you'll always have new flavors to explore. You can crush your wellness goals this May with dietitian approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. And these are delicious. From breakfast to dessert, you can stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. And you can keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes, so no shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Head to factormeals.com/TaylorSwiftFan50 and use code TaylorSwiftFan50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code TaylorSwiftFan50 at factormeals.com/TaylorSwiftFan50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Summer is right around the corner, and we love to have fun, but we're all really well aware that it can get expensive. And when you have financial goals, you need to decide what's worth it. A Chime checking account helps you reach your financial goals while still enjoying your summer. Are you traveling at all this summer? Maybe to hit up another Eras tour date? And look, sometimes you know that you don't mean to overdraft, but it just happens when things start to add up. And Chime allows you to overdraft up to $200 with no fees, which at times can be a total game changer. You can set up your direct deposit with your Chime account, and you'll be notified to enroll in SpotMe. Live it up this summer and make progress towards your financial goals with Chime. Open your bank account in minutes at chime.com/TaylorSwiftFan. That's chime.com/TaylorSwiftFan. Chime feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. members. FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
And then Nick mentioned the other day that some critics were changing their opinion. And that's incredible, too, that people were, it is mind-boggling that I read a critique that said, it's like Taylor just gets off on her own music and it's like, literally she says that. And did you listen to the album? Because she points out all the critiques that you're saying in this critique. She pointed it out in the album. So you obviously weren't listening.
Yeah, I do think that a lot of the critiques that she was getting like prove her point.
Exactly.
Like a lot. And we had talked about this, I think, at our event, but it just kind of goes to show, like, this day and age, how quickly we like just consume art and media and everything in general. Like, your attention span is just so quick. But she gives us, 31 heavily like emotional tracks, and it's like, yeah, how are you supposed to write a review within hearing it once for the first time? Even like even us, we're like, oh my gosh, our initial favorites and stuff, but it's like we're kind of just going based off vibes. And it's like the more I listen to it, I swear I just like learn new things every single time. And it's like, I actually watched this video and I sent it to you. It was a pretty lengthy video, but it was a really, really cool breakdown of how the Tortured Poets Department is modeled after one of the philosophies of Aristotle. And so like just the way that she like writes and the way that the songs are placed and the philosophies of like true virtue and love and like everything. And it's like really, really cool. And it's like, yeah, when you have the clickbait of like, oh my God, which ex-boyfriend is this song about? Then you're like not getting to the deep-rooted, literal philosophies. Like Taylor Swift is teaching us Aristotle, and a lot of people just don't even realize it. And I just think
people
that's
just want a ball. Taylor Swift wants to Aristotle.
Yes, that's very true. But yeah, she's just incredible. And I think I think a lot of things, I think like you were saying, Lacey, it's like, I think they're just proving her point.
And I love that people are changing, that critics, because it obviously wasn't fans, but I love that critics are changing their mind about it, because it's like, well, you expect for everything to sound the same and it doesn't, or that is an argument. It sounds the same. No, it doesn't. She has some of her old flavors in there, but I mean, this isn't the typical pop album from Taylor Swift. And so you go in expecting that. Well, yeah, it's different. It's tortured. And everybody hated when the old Taylor Swift couldn't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. Everybody hated that album. And then look at the success from it. It takes a minute for you to get into it, for you to understand it.
Well, yeah, that's certainly just one of the kind of head scratchers to me. And I talk about this all the time. It's one of my soapboxes. But like with this album specifically, everyone says, oh, Taylor's music all sounds the same. Okay, well, she puts out an album that sounds pretty different than a lot of other things. And certainly lyrically, it's a lot different than what she's doing in other albums. But then it's critiqued because we don't like this new stuff. It's like, so what is she supposed to do? Make the old stuff that you don't like, or try something new? But you're not going to like it because it doesn't sound like the old stuff.
But in a lot of things, to kind of go off of that also irks me, is that sometimes it's intentional because it's sounding similar to another song because it's completing the story.
Sure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, if you were not like a student of Taylor Swift, like you don't get that, and that's fine. So to you, yeah, it sounds like it's the same instrumental as Invisible String or whatever it is, but it's like, yeah, but that's intentional. Like that's on purpose. Like she calls back to her own music because it's all this, huge like story. And I saw someone on TikTok point out that, throughout her career, throughout her discography, she does always, call back other lyrics and other songs. But as she's re-recording, she's probably like realizing things that it's almost like something's call forward. Like we're connecting things to like Midnights. That makes me wonder like, which lyric was written first, like I don't know. And so it makes it that much more fun to like study her work. And we've always said that Taylor inspires Taylor, but yeah, one of the things, I saw this TikTok video like that compared all of the songs on Tortured Poets that sound like other Taylor Swift songs. And I'm like screaming at my phone because I'm like, no, that's intentional. Mm-hmm. Like that's the point. It's supposed to sound like that.
Well, we've talked about it before. She just can't win in the media's eyes. So.
Right. That's true.
And, if I dare say something controversial, I really don't care if someone doesn't like Taylor Swift. Art is subjective. I'm not going to like every movie that someone else likes. Like that's just not how it's going to be. Just as long as your critiques or your opinions just aren't coming from a negative space. You're not just not liking Taylor Swift because she wrote Shake It Off 10 years ago. You know what I mean? As long as you have an opinion that's like, okay, that's fine. Not everyone is going to like it. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine. because I don't like every kind of music. There's people that are obsessed with other artists that I think sounds trash, but I keep a lot of those opinions to myself.
Country,
you know, I mean,
gross.
but I mean, well, Taylor Swift sings country,
I like old Taylor, but I'm not a fan of country.
and that's fine.
Like
Everyone,
the twang, twang, twang.
everyone can have their own opinions. That's fine. It's just when it comes from the like hatred or negativity side, it's like, okay, get over yourself.
So something that has made me laugh though, it's like, and we've said something that's interesting about Taylor specifically is that people who love her like us, like of course we're going to listen to everything that she puts out. People who hate her also listen to everything that she puts out.
So true.
Which is like, so I saw this video of this guy that was like, I listened to all 31 songs and I hated all of them. And it's like, well, yeah, if I listen to a brand new album of an artist I hate, odds are I'm not going to like it either. But then she breaks the record for most streams and they're like, who's listening? Bro, you. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
In a similar situation, I saw someone on social media, you know, going to the comment section of the haters on, you know, if Billboard is posting a Facebook post about breaking records and things like that for Taylor Swift and people are in there commenting, why do I keep seeing this? It's because your algorithm, because you're interacting with these Taylor Swift posts, your algorithm is now Taylor Swift. Of course, like what do you expect?
So funny.
Of course it is.
I saw a stand-up comedian compared like being fans of Taylor Swift almost like being fans of wrestling, where it's like if you know the lore and you know everything, like you know it, yes, and the more that you get involved in it, the more you're going to see it. But he was like, if I don't know anything about wrestling, but I start talking about it and I start posting about it, odds are I'm going to start hearing more about it.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, yeah, that's so valid. Like, I cannot tell you a single name of a single wrestler, but like, I'm sure that if I started posting about how much I hate wrestling, I'll start seeing it a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. You're doing it to yourself.
It's almost like self-inflicted.
And it's cool because there are new Swifties learning. I met some out at our event that was like, this was my first album release. This
That's
is my
awesome.
first. Yeah. And I'm like, how fun is that you get to experience this? It's your first time. You're going back and hearing the music and learning. I mean, she's grabbing new fans all the time. It's not just day one, day ones anymore. It's Swifties everywhere learning and getting excited about the music and getting to witness this and then breaking everything down on TikTok. I mean, Swift Talk has been on fire lately. I'm very suspicious at how quiet Taylor has been. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm always clowning for sure. But
yeah, you are.
She's been quiet though.
You know, you're talking about new listeners. I wonder how many new listeners this album is going to bring in, because when Folklore and Evermore came out, she drastically changed her sound. She brought in a ton of new listeners because like, oh wow, this is completely different. So I wonder if this will help bring in new listeners too.
I can only assume.
Yeah.
I can only assume. I am interested though, just like, you know, talking about you know, people are so, and ourselves included, like so quick to form an opinion on things like that. I kind of, and this is going to be hard to do because of our job, but like when we get TS12 or whenever we get brand new music from Taylor again, I almost kind of want to stay off of social media for a full week. Like I want to form my own opinions and I want to feel the way that I want to feel about it and make my own connections before I'm like heavily influenced by the people that hate it or the people that, you know what I mean? Like
We're going to have to warn people.
like that was
Hey,
almost
we're taking a break.
Like, cause I
for
thought
a fortnight.
Cause I kind of thought about a fortnight. Cause I kind of thought about it like with this one and I was getting so angry at other people hating on it that it started to like, it almost started to take some of the joy away for me. And I was like, I wish I could just not see that. Like, I don't want to see the negativity. I don't want to see the people that are just shitting on it because I love it so much. And it like made me so sad that I almost thought I was like, I think next time I get a brand new album, I think I'm just going to stay off socials for a little bit for me to actually like fully take it in and enjoy it myself, you know?
Sure.
Which will be hard to do because of our job, but
Maybe we can have an intern by then.
and we'll figure that would be cool. We'll,
Grayson.
An intern?
an intern. That'd be so cool. With
But I
a
felt-
little badge.
Yeah.
I felt the opposite though, just because I wasn't sticking around reading the reviews. I was flipping through TikTok and seeing everybody sing their favorite verses and choruses and lyrics. And that was giving me a newfound respect for it because it's like, oh, I hadn't spent that much time with the album yet. And then to hear, like, I heard that lyric, but it really didn't sink in until I was seeing people sing it on TikTok. And then I was like, man, that is a really good line. That's fantastic. So it reinforced the album for me and helped me pick up on some of the things that I hadn't picked up on.
But I think that's because you're seeing positive things.
Yes.
I was seeing a lot of negative things. And I also, outside of this podcast, I'm on a morning radio show, and anytime Taylor Swift does anything, her haters are all up in my DMs because they feel the need to tell me that they don't like her. And so that really, it gets to me. It really does. Like, she puts out a new album and suddenly my DMs are haters being like, this album sucks. I'm like, can you not? But it's not that, I'm not seeing the diehard fans when I open up TikTok. I open up my Instagram and I'm just filled with hate. So it's that's what I meant. I don't mean
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a difference in what you're saying.
I hate that for you. I
do
absolutely
too.
hate that for you.
I do too. And that's why I said what yeah.
Because like I said, Swifties are positive and are loving and are accepting.
They can be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not blanketed around everybody, but I like to stay in my positive little corner. I don't want anybody coming in with their negativity and their bad reviews. You can just get out of here with all that.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.
Maybe there's something that you need to get off your chest. Get it off my desk. It's not healthy to carry around stress, both big and small. If you keep your emotions bottled up, it can really start to affect you negatively. You can carry it in your body. You can carry it in your soul. You can just feel grumpy from not being able to talk it out or work through whatever's weighing you down. And that's why we like to talk to our friends at BetterHelp, because therapy is a safe space to get things off of your chest. So you're not just tortured and alone.
And it is crazy to think of just how powerful it can be to just talk to somebody and say things out loud. And if you don't, like Lacey was saying, if you keep things bottled up, eventually something's going to set you off. Something tiny is going to set you off. And then you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I've had all of this emotion pent up. And getting it out by talking to a therapist is really wonderful, because not only are you getting it off your chest, but they're also teaching you positive coping skills. So in the future, when you feel yourself getting worked up, you know how to handle it, and you know for how to better yourself in the future.
And it's good to be able to set boundaries and stick to them. Not everybody needs to resurrect from the graveyard because you're having a weak moment.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TaylorSwiftFan today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TaylorSwiftFan. Am I in the minority here when I think I don't necessarily need Swifties to respond to every troll or comment or hater on the internet? If someone says something negative, do we have to?
I think it'd be better if we just ignore them.
Right, that's what
They're
I'm saying.
wanting
We ignore
attention.
them, and so then they just go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't engage,
Let's send him to the grave like Lacey does.
send them to the
I
grave.
don't know how to do that, though.
Yeah, because what is it in
Down
your
in Florida.
in your contacts? What do? You send someone to the grave after
Yeah.
you keep their contact, but
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll get it. Okay, so I will change their contact information to just graveyard emojis, and I send them to the grave. And sometimes I forget. Normally I block them because I'm done, and I don't want to let someone overstep my boundaries and then let them back in just because I'm thirsty or whatever. But sometimes I will get a text from the grave and I can't leave well enough alone. So then I learned this hack on TikTok that you can put their number in Venmo or one of those and see who it is. So then I'll see who it is and then decide whether or not I have morals and respond or not.
Sounds like it could backfire.
probably
I
not.
mean, for
And then
sure.
Lacey comes out of the grave like zombie Taylor in the "Look What You Made Me Do" video and stuff. She comes out of the graveyard.
Yeah, but I have boundaries, and I just don't always stick to them. But sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't.
It's a good idea in theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what's everyone's favorite song today on the Tortured Poets? And I say today because it changes every day.
But Daddy, I Love Him, and Guilty as Sin. Those are my two favorites right now.
I had the
Amy?
Tortured Poets Department in my head when I woke up. It was playing already.
Okay.
I woke up in the middle of it.
Oh.
It was on shuffle.
Lacey, do you have a favorite?
The smallest man who ever lived. Oh, whenever she just gets to the part, I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside, and you deserve prison, but you won't get time.
Yeah, that bridge, that bridge is lethal. Absolutely
Yeah.
lethal.
The sighs that she has in there, that song is just killer. It's on repeat. And still, Who's Afraid of Little of Me? I will listen to that song on repeat. I drive long distances. I live far away, and sometimes I'm like halfway home and I realize I've still only listened to that song because I will restart it over and over. But it was very weird. Sometimes I'll have it playing on Alexa and then it'll go through the whole album and start playing Sabrina Carpenter or something. And I love Sabrina, so no hate on her. But I'm like, I wasn't done, Alexa. Now you're playing like regular music. Let's restart the album over.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I have heard from other artists, and I can't even think who they are right now, that have said that their streams go up when Taylor releases a new album because, like you say, after Tortured Poets is done, it just plays a similar artist. And so all of their streams get boosted big time because of that.
I've never
Yeah.
thought of that. That's funny.
What's your favorite?
Well, I guess everybody gave like their top 2, right? Is that what you said? Right now, Guilty as Sin really crept all the way up to the top. Guilty as Sin and The Black Dog are my 2. My holy trinity right now is Guilty as Sin, The Black Dog, and Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Like, oh man.
One of my favorite trends right now on social media, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but ladies will have their men write the word mine on a sheet of paper to get it tattooed on their upper thigh. And like everyone's stitching this one because the original video, a guy writes mine and it looks really good. It's like nice and neat. And everyone stitches their boyfriends or their husbands, and it's just the worst chicken scratch.
That's
or like
so funny.
bubble letters. It's just
Not the bubble letters.
It's just terrible handwriting.
They've
for
caught on.
mine. No,
that's
I don't
so
think they
good.
caught on. I
Oh,
think they just
dang.
have awful handwriting,
That's
which is
so-
me. I have bad handwriting.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. My husband Ryan, his handwriting, I love it because I think it's so cute, but it is such like the little boyish handwriting.
That's my handwriting. It's terrible. Although I am doing all of the addresses for my son's graduation announcements. And I was like, it's okay that I do it because they're going to think it's him.
And Lacey, you have the best handwriting.
Yeah, I have an idea. Should we all write the word mine and post the picture on social media as
have
four,
to
and people have to
guess.
guess who's
Yeah, I love
that.
that. That's really cute.
Yeah,
Whose thigh are we going to use?
I don't know. Well, you ladies are Anna and Lacey are getting a tattoo.
We are
going to
get tattoos. I know. Yeah. If you weren't at our event, or you haven't listened back to that episode, one of our vendors was a tattoo artist, Ari, and
From Origin Story Tattoo.
yeah, and so we had said from the get-go that we were going to get tattoos there, but once we were there, she was so busy, and we knew that like we didn't want to take up her time and everything, and so she agreed to come and tattoo us like while we record an episode, because she said that the tattoo gun that she has is kind of quiet, like it wouldn't really bother the recording of it. So I have been thinking about what I want to get, and I think I know what I'm going to get.
I don't know. I have an idea, but I don't know what I want to get. Also, wow, I haven't. I don't want to say that. Well, I haven't had good luck picking out tattoos before. I've got some old, nasty, crusty tattoos.
We should have someone else decide for you.
Well, I was going to say, the first person to text me from the graveyard with the word mine, you can write mine.
Lacey,
and
no.
Yeah, they don't know if they're in the graveyard or not. And then I don't know if they're in the graveyard
I'm
or
texting
not.
you right now.
But yeah, we'll have to figure out when we want to do that.
Yeah.
I already know what I want. I'm just trying to figure out where on my body I want it.
Yeah, I'm ready to get some new tattoos though. It's been a long time since I've gotten one. My sister's also working on one for me
yeah?
as well. I have this old portfolio from my grandfather who was an artist. Amy, you're not in the graveyard. You have lobsters.
Yes.
Yes. from my grandfather, and he had a doodle, and my little sister Heaven is just like my grandfather, just very artistic. And so we found this doodle, and she's making it to be a tattoo for me and her.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it'll be something that my grandfather drew that Heaven then extended on and actually mean something. But my Taylor Swift tattoo from Ari and Origin tattoo will mean something, and I'm so excited.
It'll be very
cool.
We'll have that figured. Maybe we'll live stream it.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be
Cool,
cool.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, I see we have some voicemails from some of our wonderful lobsters.
Yeah, just play a voicemail.
Yeah.
Who's
Any
it
of
from,
them?
Nick?
This one is going to be from Jacob.
All right.
Howdy, it's Jacob from H-Town. I just watched y'all's episode on the Tortured Poets Department, and I wanted to chime into the conversation. So I know y'all realize that Matty Healy has most of the songs written about him, and I don't really think that's about Joe getting the Calvin Harris treatment. Rather, I think there wasn't much to say about Joe. I think, really, You're Losing Me I View as the track 5 of the Tortured Poets Department. Like when it said, I would marry either pathological people pleaser, that really summed up the whole end of the relationship. And Joe didn't really have much material anyway, even though he was in 5 albums. There wasn't much to talk about. And so Long London kind of filled in the gaps. And so I think it kind of made sense to then talk a lot about Matty Healy and less about Joe, because I would marry either pathological people pleaser. What else can you do?
Jacob, I love that theory that even though you're with somebody for 6 years, there's just no substance to them
Well,
to even write about.
yeah, because
Well, it
the love,
It did fizzle, yes.
the love was gone, and I completely agree with that. I'm trying to find a lyric in So Long London, but I mean, she talks
you're talking
about
the color back in my face.
the color back in my face. You swore you loved me, but where were the clues? But there's one where it's like, you didn't even want to be there. I'm fighting for a relationship and you don't even want to be there.
Yeah.
And my friends are questioning why. Why are you trying? And I'm paraphrasing. I don't have that right in front of me. My friend said it isn't right to be scared every day of a love affair. Every breath you feel like rarest air when you're not sure if he wants to be there. So I think she didn't have the turmoil and stuff. It was just I'm done putting up with mediocrity. She's done tolerating it. So she didn't have something passionate to write in the end. But she did have a lot of passionate things to write about the man who toyed with her for 10 years.
I also do think though that even if there's not an entire song that you're like, oh my God, this was most definitely about the breakup with Joe, I do think he influenced a lot more than people think. And I think as we go track by track, we're going to kind of see it a little bit more. But I also do agree with Jacob that You're Losing Me is most definitely a track 5, but yeah, there's a lot of, and I think there's some songs where she sings about more than one, it tells a story of her getting out of a relationship, having that, rebound era, and then finding, how she had said that a lot of her pain was self-inflicted. I think there's just so much that intertwines within the entire album. But I do think that his influence is not that people aren't giving Joe credit or anything, but I do think he influenced a lot of the lyrics that you just it's not so blatantly, but I do think it's there.
Someone said it comically. He's the supporting actor in in the album.
Always
He's
the supporting
there.
actor. He's there.
Just not the lead role.
Yeah. All right, let's hear from Ruby.
Hi, I'm Ruby from California, and I have this crazy theory, okay? So, there's 31 songs on her 11th album. 31 plus 11 equals 42. 4 and 2 are the numbers in 42. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 is reputation. Isn't that crazy? Okay, bye.
Thank you, Ruby.
I love it. 4 plus 6 is 4 plus 2 is 6. Bye. That was so cute.
Hey, good theory. Hey, Swifties are always good at math. You can always count on that. That's for sure. All right, let's hear from Lauren.
Hi, podcast friends. My name is Lauren, and I picked up something with Fortnight. In Hits Different, she talks a lot about getting drunk at the bar, being poured into a car, and at the end of the song, she talks about someone coming? Is it him, or are they coming to take her away? Then at the beginning of the fortnight, she says, I was supposed to be sent away, but no one came to get me. And then she talks about being a functional alcoholic. Makes me think that maybe Fortnight follows up where Hits Different ended. Also, I don't know if you have heard that the words for I Hate It Here are different for Apple Music listeners if they're listening on their phone or if they're listening in, say, the car or headphones. If you listen in the car headphones, it has the traditional lyrics. But if you listen straight from your phone in the second verse, instead of saying, oh, I think it's something like, I would have hated it here, it says something that sounds like home in Paris, or it's hard to say exactly what it is, but it's definitely Paris. Now midnight in Paris. Anyway, if you look at it online, people have lots of people have heard it, but no one knows why. Is it an Easter egg? So just thought y'all should know. Love your podcast. Thank you. Bye.
I had not heard that theory before.
Yeah, but I needed to know.
It's different lyrics?
I have seen that, yes. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So it says in the lyric that you guys have, that we've probably heard, is in one of the verses it says, if I'd been there, I'd hate it. It was freezing in the palace. And then on Apple Music, it says, if I'd been there, I'd hate it. No midnight in Paris, or something like that.
Interesting.
What I find to be incredibly interesting, because it is a glitch, right? And it's like, oh, like an audio glitch. Essentially, is it an Easter egg? Is it on purpose? And it kind of makes you wonder, like, I feel like a lot of the things that we wonder whenever there is a glitch is like, was it on purpose or was this a genius tactic? And the line right before this says, nostalgia's a mind trick. So I think it's purposeful because it says nostalgia's a mind trick. And then depending on where you hear it, it gets you thinking, is that a mind trick? Is that a genius lyric? Is that an accident? And it makes me think of that time, I forget what city she was in on the Eras tour, but remember she goes up to her piano, her surprise song piano, and she accidentally plays the wrong note or something. And we were like, was that on purpose or was that an accident? We like genuinely couldn't tell. Somehow it's all connected. I don't know how, but it's all connected somehow.
But she's about to be in Paris.
Glitch.
Next week, the New Heights podcast is having a special guest. People are wondering if it's going to be Taylor
For real?
or not. It's going to be the day before she returns out on the Eras tour in Paris. Brittany Mahomes has been posting stuff. They were like allegedly together in Vegas, and normally they share photos and videos whenever they're together. They didn't share anything, but Brittany shared a series of photos. Ty Wilson 13 on TikTok has great explanations on all this, but she posted like a series of photos, and the 8th photo, she's doing a 2 like Taylor Swift, and she has her phone out, and you can see Tortured Poets Department background.
Oh, really?
And the time on it is 2:22. But then they're like, but why is that in the 8th slot and not the 2nd slot? So a lot of questions. We will have maybe some answers whenever she goes on tour next week. Maybe as soon as we end the episode and she drops something.
I know,
It's
I keep-
5:03.
What happens?
Me
Yeah.
too. I'm refreshing.
I know. I keep refreshing. I'm as soon as we hit, stop recording.
Nothing yet.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. She makes it so fun to be a fan.
She does.
She always has stuff going on, and she's always feeding us. So Eras tour returns next week, which means you and I, Nick, we gotta get to some
I
losing
guess
at
that's
some
right.
point.
We do have to figure this out. Lacey and I tied on our surprise song challenge for the, what leg was that? Where was she?
It
was
Oceanic.
Oceanic, yeah. So Lacey and I tied for last, so we have to figure out a tiebreaker and then the punishment.
If we don't get to it, we could always double down, make it the punishment twice as bad.
Let's do the punishment now because I'm going to lose the next time too.
I don't know.
I didn't even mean to. Are you an
Wow.
Easter egg? I don't know. Are you, Amy? Are you the anthology? Are you just happy to see me?
Oh, and I saw Nikki King had, because she was talking on TikTok about all the threes that have been happening. there was some theory about the third thing happening, and that's why Taylor has had braids, why she had braids in her hair, because it's the three things that are intertwined.
Oh, look
I
at
just
that.
thought that was so cool.
That is cool. I wonder, like, okay, I'm going to keep refreshing my phone, but let's say there is, something on the horizon. What would you think that would be?
It could be a new music video. It could be if she, like, for different variants, she would still have bonus songs. So I'm not saying like a third album, but what if she puts hits different and, You're Losing Me and stuff. She could have more tracks out there. But she gave us so much already. Mm-hmm. So, Nikki King on TikTok the whole time was like, I'm not asking for more, but there are clues that there is this. And I think that's the big difference. Swifties are crazy and like to think all these theories and put clues together and come up empty-handed a lot. But it's not because we're just demanding everything. It's because we've been taught to be detectives and to look into everything. And she's so cryptic. Is she teasing something for now, or is she teasing something for 3 years from now? I had to go back and look from our initial episodes because I was like, 5'3" is familiar to me. Is that another one that we've clowned on before? No, there's just been a lot of days.
Wait, is that not, like, now that you say it, it like sounded familiar to me, but no? It wasn't?
Well, the one that I was looking at was like 4:30.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar too.
Yeah, but I think we just clown a lot. And so it's like, have we clowned over this day before? I don't know. Maybe. Has she hinted at it in the past and we're just now getting here? Taylor's futuristic, y'all. She's working on stuff for so long. She's a mastermind. Truly brilliant.
I could see her doing something like a book of poetry with her lyrics.
I'm still pushing for that. Not pushing for that, but that's what I'm...
That'd be cool.
Yeah. That's what I thought the whole time that she was teasing the twos.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect a double album. I was expecting a book of poetry, which technically, if you get the vinyl, it like... it kind of is, like, all the lyrics. Like, it's thick. It's
with
awesome.
2 C's.
Yeah. 2 C's.
All right. I think we've satisfied our duties for today, talking about Taylor Swift. Don't you guys think?
Dookie said duties.
Wait, let me just check social media real quick before we...
Still nothing for me.
Okay. I just know, just given our luck. But yeah, I don't see anything. Okay.
All right. Well, we are going to skedaddle because we're about to record This Love.
Are we?
Well,
that's why we're decked out in our 1989.
And we'll see. We will see. We're scheduled to record This Love, which will be on the next podcast. So thanks for joining us. Be sure you are subscribing wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. And all the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. And join us next time for This Love.
Thanks for listening. The 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.